how do you anticipate, or I'm sure you already have it figured out, how are the teams broken up for these inter-squads, and is there any kind of unique scorekeeping or incentive structure you're going to kind of follow along as this is going to the next 2 weeks?
Well, before I start with that, Iglesias' back is still a little sore, so we're gonna keep him out today as precaution. Hopefully he'll get some innings and some ABs in tomorrow. So you'll see a not full field out there. So there'll be some ghost defenders. But it'll be fun. I mean, we are going to keep some stats. We're going to keep track of how guys are doing from an at-bat standpoint. Obviously, we have all our pitching stats that we're going to keep. We might do something competitive game-wise kind of at the end of this. We kind of want to just get everybody to get some outings on the mound, to get some at-bats before we take this too seriously. But we're probably going to do some sort of competitive with teams toward before we start the season. But right now, I'm just breaking up guys just to have it's like tomorrow's different than today. But there's no real science behind. I'm putting some middle guys together. I'll put together some outfield combinations, things like that. But it's pretty much just getting everybody on the field.
Brock Kabako, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. You never had a chance to name your opening day starter in Florida before we shut down. When do you think you would be ready to do that?
I think we're ready to do it probably tomorrow. Or no, not tomorrow. Sometime soon. I don't know. Whenever Jimmy tells me we're ready to do it.
Dan Connolly, go ahead.
If you got to really, with the mask on, you got to really be. I can't give any kind of body language. No. Jimmy says no. Jimmy will let you know.
Is Jim cutting into my question time here? Just checking. Hey, you kind of maybe alluded to this with the ghost fielders, but you have 4 outfielders obviously on the list. A couple of them haven't necessarily been out there, but you do have a guy like Wilkerson and Velasquez as well. What are you doing with the outfield for these next couple games? Do you have a sense? I mean, are guys going to be able to go out there both times, or are they just going to be ghost outfielders, or how are you going to handle it? Do you know?
Yeah, we're just going to, tonight, we're going to have it's going to be a wide open outfield. So we'll have some ghost defenders out there unless the strength coaches are really feeling athletic this evening, or any of our coaching staff. Maybe Jim. Maybe Jimmy can grab a glove and go play right. No? Jennifer. Maybe Jen can get out there and show off her range. No, we're just going to play it short. And I'll just make the call. Either he's out or it's a single or whatever it is.
Rich Dubroff, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. You in the first spring training, you were really pleased with the choices that you had for relief pitching. In fact, a couple of times you said nice things about Eric Hanhold and Cody Carroll. Are you even more pleased that you'll be able to take more relief pitching with a 30-man roster to start out here?
I am, yeah, and I think that there's some spots to be won. So I'm looking forward to these next couple of weeks because I thought a lot of guys were really throwing the ball well back in March, and I'm looking forward. And these guys they're continuing to throw the ball well right now. Their live BPs and their sides have been impressive. A lot of them have picked up where they left off, and back in March, and done a really nice job staying in shape these last couple months. So yeah, there's a lot's going to be said for these next couple of weeks of inter squads. Hopefully they make our decision tough here at the end of the month, but I really like the way these guys are throwing the ball. Dylan Tate threw the ball great yesterday. Cody Carroll continues to throw the ball well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here in the next couple of weeks.
Steve Molesky, go ahead.
Brandon, we talked to Cisco a little while ago, and last year when he got called up, he really seemed to be carrying over the offense that that flourished at AAA, and then there was a fall off late. What do you think happened, and what are some keys for him to get the consistency he's looking for?
Well, I know he put a lot of work in this offseason. He put with some swing mechanic changes, and I thought I saw there was definitely a difference mechanically in his swing in spring training, and I think he's really continued that. Watching him take BP the last few days, there's a noticeable difference. Ball's really coming off his bat. He's able to stay inside the ball a little easier, stride directions better. He's able to get his backside through the baseball and backspin it. He hit an opposite field home run, live BP to left center the other day that sticks out in my mind, where really stayed behind the ball and stayed through it. And I felt like last year, I think he was pressing too. He came up, really swung the bat well early, got into a little bit of a funk, and was trying to swing his way out of it, and kind of got away from his game a little bit for me. He's not a guy that chases outside the strike zone, which I love. He's a guy that really stays in his zone. But I just thought he was pressing, the last month or two of the season to try to get results and kind of chasing hits instead of really just taking that really good at bat he was taking when he first got there. And he was doing that this spring. So I like the swing adjustments he's made, the mechanical changes he's made, and now it's just doing it in the game.
Last call for questions here. Mark Viviano, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. Talking to Cisco just a little bit ago, he mentioned, playing an inter-squad game on a backfield in Sarasota or even in Ed Smith Stadium is one thing, but when you do it at Camden Yards, knowing that this is what's going to be the real setting kind of adds a little bit to getting ready for a season. Do you see that to be the case? Is there some getting used to that begins tonight, I guess?
Well, I think it's nice to play an inter-squad in a major league stadium, especially one that you're going to play in a lot. And some of these guys haven't played in this stadium, so to be able to kind of get used to it, another thing with no fans. I mean, it is different, like for outfielders, for corner infielders, with just seats behind there. Sometimes your depth perception, the ball isn't as clear at times. So to be able to play in an empty stadium is definitely going to be different. And so it's kind of like a practice run of what it's going to be like.
John Mioli, go ahead.
Brandon, I know we have the Tommy and Thomas going today. How many pitchers at this point are you stretching out to be starter length or starter length candidates? That's the end of the question. I don't know why I said
Did you finish your question?
Yeah, that was it. Just how many guys are getting stretched out at this point? And then I said and then I realized I shouldn't say that.
I say way too often. Let's see. I would say 9 for sure. 9 for sure, and then there's some also guys that we're stretching out for length. So at least 9, and then a few others that we're stretching out for possible long relief roles also.
Yeah, and as a follow-up, I think when Valdez pitched his slide BP, he had 3-ups. Is he one of those in either of those categories?
Yeah, so he's kind of in that swing mode. So he's throwing, I'm looking at when I'm throwing him, he's throwing in a few days, and he's going to throw 4 innings. 4 innings.
Cool.
Dan Connolly.
Yeah, hey, Brandon, just one more real quick clarification. Mike said yesterday that there's going to be some guys trickling into the 45.
Yep.
Have they trickled in, and will we see them today or tomorrow, or do you have to get anybody like kind of acclimated first?
Yeah, so a couple guys got here today, they finished their intake testing, got their physicals done, and that's Mountcastle and Mason Williams. So those guys will be, working out with us until Bowie or wherever the secondary site is, Aberdeen Bowie, opens up. And so we're gonna have a couple guys probably every day now that we're starting to play games. Those guys won't be in the game for a while, but we're gonna get them on the field here in a little bit.
47 at this point in the camp, roughly now.
Yep, but it's different because I don't want to make it like they're a part of the camp. There's
Gotcha.
we're just getting guys here early because our secondary site's not open yet,
Gotcha.
and so we're just kind of having guys trickle in every day or two.
Gotcha.